put to the world to me, right? Just introduce yourself, not that you need introducers, but just introduce yourself to people from America.
James Truscott, so I'm a produce industry lifer pretty much. So used to run, most recent exec role was running Branston, which is a big potato business in the UK, and now I have a number of different roles in
busy
portfolio lifestyle.
What I like about people like you is you've seen the cycles, whether it be, weather, politics, retailers. How we were just talking off camera, a really interesting session this morning about ag-tech. Just per se, that's a big one. Fresh produce, where do you see it? Where do you see it go with all of your experiences today? How do you see it rolling out the next 3-5 years?
I think there's competing tensions because it's in a tricky spot. If you're looking for funding for something at the moment, good luck, because it's very hard, and there aren't lots of exit cases, so the private equity guys aren't very sure about it as a sector, I think. But you look at it the other way, there have to be solutions. So if we're going to produce food in the right way going forward, so that we produce enough of it, but we also do it without the commensurate impact on the environment that exists today, then agri-tech has to be the solution provider for those challenges. And so I think if you come at it reasonably positive, as most of us do in this industry, then there has to be a big opportunity there. But right now, I think the investment side of it is tricky.
So why are there so many investors here at the World Innovation Summit in the Intercontinental O2? Are they just having, obviously not being positions, are they just having a day out, or are they curious, but they're being very selective?
Well, I think you've got the true believers here, haven't you? You've got the guys who've committed their business model to this sector, and that's great because they will be up for it. And I suppose what's happened in the last few years is some of the people who came in because it looked shiny and interesting, and then subsequently lost quite a lot of money in certain areas, they sort of exited. So you're left with the people who are genuinely up for it. I think what I'll be interested to hear in the next day or so is, I think a lot of them have made decisions on sectors they're genuinely interested in, and others they're totally parking for. And understanding their thinking behind that would be interesting.
And here it comes, James, AI. Just been speaking to a lovely chap, amazing chap called Elliot Grant, who's heavily sponsoring AI within agriculture, fresh produce internationally. And he's very positive about the deployment of it. He thinks there's going to be a cycle of companies coming in, use specific platforms for ag and fresh produce. And there'll be that competitive waste and finish, and there'll be a couple standards. Do you see that from your background and the roles that you've got at the moment? Can you see AI being a game changer?
Yeah, I think it already is. I think there's maybe a difference between the idea of adopting AI to fundamentally change a set task, and that's the sort of scary bit that people are sort of thinking about. But actually, if you look at where it just is embedded, unseen in the solution today, it's everywhere. So, one of the businesses I'm involved in is Beehive, and a spin out from Beehive is here at the show, Harvest Eye, and AI and machine learning is utterly central to how that system does what it does. It looks for potatoes and other crops through a vision system and works out what's a potato, what isn't, how big it is, where it came from in the field. All of that is machine learning AI driven. But you wouldn't know, you just look at the products and you go, that works, brilliant, okay, well AI facilitated that. So I think in those instances, it's probably everywhere anyway, to a degree that we don't all of us understand, but it's making a massive difference. The set piece stuff that fundamentally changes particular industries, I'm sure that comes. I wouldn't pretend to be an expert in what's going to happen there.
Optimistic? Are you optimistic about the future?
Yeah, I think so. I think people in our industry tend to be, as a default. It's you need a reasonable amount of resilience in fresh produce, and so you come at things with a view that you can probably find a good result. I think it is tough times. I think if you don't have a good business model, if you don't have good relationships with your customers, the headwinds must feel really quite severe. But I think businesses that are well set up, good plan, with good sort of long-term business plans with those that they work with, I think are feeling quite optimistic. Big challenges, but they always represent the biggest opportunities.
So there's always a positive from a negative. And just to wind up, be very careful how you answer this question. What is your favourite fresh produce?
That is a very difficult thing for me to answer, given I'm involved in a few different things. I'm going to have to take the fifth.
James, it's going so well. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here today.
No problem, thanks.